Hi there, my name is Kunneberg and welcome to my channel. This is another film review, so here we go. So the film is Marabunta, Marabunta. It's a TV movie, suspense, horror and action. I suppose so, yeah. Came out in 1998, 16 plus, it's an hour and 29 minutes. Amazon is 3.5 out of 5, IMDb is 2.8 out of 10. And the Amazon synopsis is: a hive of South American killer ants have been lying dormant in Alaska for 10 years until seismic activity causes subterranean warming, awakening the ants. While many residents of Burley Pines, Alaska, are being eaten alive, a small group races to survive and to find a way to stop the ruthless ants. So the director is Jim Charleston, who directed Dawson's Creek, and also George Manasse, Manasse, who hasn't directed anything else. Producers, well, there's 5 of them, so I'll pick the main one, and it is George Manasse again, Manasse, and he produced Final Verdict. Music was David, I'm not going to say his surname, Licht, who did the music for Dexter. Now the cast, we have Eric Lutz, Lutes, who was Dr. Jim Conrad, and he was in Frasier. Julia Campbell, who was Laura Sills, and she was in Dexter. Mitch Pileggi, who was Police Chief Jeff Croy, he was in The X-Files. And Jeremy Foley, who was Chad Croy, who was in Dante's Peak. It's known as Legion of Fire Killer Ants, and it was filmed in Heber City in Utah, so it wasn't filmed in Alaska, which is a shame because I kind of like the images on it. So, at the very beginning, there's lovely scenery, hilly mountains, grass, straight from the start. As soon as the director's name disappears, it's what we have. Then we have these 2 people having a photo session on this large mound. It's about 20 feet, like mud. And then they get swallowed. You can already tell it's low budget. I mean, I didn't know it's a TV movie until I watched it and then I read it and I was like, oh, it's a TV movie, that's why. They don't have the money. And then our not 2 main guys, it was Eric Lutz and who was the other guy? I can't remember his other name. I think it was Pat, who knows it was. Chad's friend, George Heredi. No, it wasn't. Homer was. I haven't got a clue. Anyway, whoever it was, he was. They sort of appeared and they said, "Oh, I love Alaska. It's beautiful." And I thought, "Is this Alaska?" Because I was like, "Oh, well, if that's Alaska, great." But it wasn't. It was Utah. So that's okay. Don't know if they can film in Alaska. Okay, so I saw the first dead body. Well, when I say dead body, I mean basically a skull. He was still dressed. There was no blood. It was nice and clean. Had a head of hair, and just the skull was there. First of all, I thought it was just a skull, but it turned out to be a skeleton. Now, as usual with any of these kind of films, you tend to learn stuff new, and you don't really know if it's true. And apparently, there's entomologists, or whatever it is that they call themselves, say there's between 12 and 15,000 species of ants. I was like, my goodness me. And then I saw some ants carrying away a finger, because they went, oh my god. She obviously died, but we didn't see the body, we just saw a finger. So the same mound that these 2 people got swallowed in appears again, because they're like, oh, where are they? So they turn up at this strongest anthill in the world. So all of them. So you got Eric Lutz, Mitch, and some. I can't remember his name. It was one of the other cops. Legged it up to the top of this mound, and it was like, what the hell? It's the strongest mound I've ever seen. There was no dust coming out, no dirt, nothing. So when they said all the dead bodies are piling up, there isn't that many, and they're trying to keep it all quiet from the townsfolk. Understandable. So then they want to evacuate. I won't explain why. So no, like I say, no one knows about this, and we've got just music. We don't hear anything. We've got one of the guys going around in the it's Don Shanks, who was Grey Wolf. He's an Indian or Native American. So he's going around the back of a pickup truck or something with a foghorn, like a speaking, yelling. You can't hear him, like I say, it's just music, telling everybody to evacuate because there's this guy who from out of town in LA is telling everyone you've got to get out, and they just do. They all just capture all their bags, pack the suitcases, run to the cars, and then because it's kind of like a farming area as well, so you see everyone catching chickens and cattle and herding them on, and they all just run away. And I'm thinking, if somebody was driving around and said to me, quick, run, there's killer ants in the place, I'm like, no chance, mate. Ants? What are they going to do? Tickle me to death. So the ants the climbing to the helicopter, they look quite decent. I mean, they look like they're actually there. I mean, they're not really there, obviously, and they're very CGI, but they're quite good in my mind. Not at certain points, it's obvious, but compared to the previous film I reviewed called The Hive, which, to be brutally honest, I wouldn't even... Well, that's just a complete weird film. At least these looked like ants. So, anyone that knows anything about ants in your garden, whatever, don't mean matter. So, our main intrepid, saviors, Eric Lutz and Julia Campbell, right? They're on this water's edge by this lake, and he's using this crappy flamethrower, which is doing nothing. It's like, and there's just like this spark just comes out. And she's using this gun, apparently it shoots magnesium bullets, wherever they are, but it just looks like she's using a pea shooter. So they're fighting the ants, like you do, at the water's edge, by the water. So they're literally by the water. And then Julia turns around and goes, hey, what's that over there? And they look around and they say, oh, a canoe, but we'll never make it. So then they spend ages trying to get to the canoe, and I thought, could you not go into the water? Ants can't swim. They never can. They can go on a leaf or a twig or something like that, of course, but they can't swim. So if you just wade, I don't know, 5 feet or maybe just 2 feet, or even just paddle, you're in the water. They can't get you. Save that one. But they didn't. They spent ages. Like I say, they did use real ants. Not all the time, obviously you could tell some were CGI, but they did use proper ants at certain points, so that was kind of cool. There was a decent story, the characters were okay, acting wasn't bad, there were moments of what the hell, what's going on here, Some of them were quite funny. I mean, there was one point where the kid, Jeremy, basically said to his dad, obviously because the police chief is Jeff Croy and the kid is Chad Croy, I'll run over here and divert the ants. So off he runs to I'm not going to say where he runs, but he runs somewhere where he's sealed inside, and then the ants follow him and then start to try to get in. And then all you hear is, Dad, help me. And I thought, well, that's not really gone down very well, has it? Dad's not going to come over and help you. You were the diversion. So it had a rating of what? 2.8. I'm going to give it a 4. I mean, I'm not going to give it a 2. I don't think it was that bad. I ain't going above a 4. I think a 4 is quite decent for it. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed watching and listening to this little review of Marabunta. Legion of Fire Killer Ants, which would sound a lot better than Marabunta in my mind. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of other film reviews. I also do mostly game reviews and game let's plays, but I have kind of done a few film reviews, so if you want to check those out, you can do. The first few are more like a podcast, and then I started to add pictures and stuff later on. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, leave a comment in the comment box below if you watched this film, were you as enthralled as I was, and maybe even loved the fact that they were by the water's edge. Who knows? Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.